Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Alright y'all, this is a spirit message that came to me this morning, and it's so important because I think that this is a subtlety, a source that just goes unnoticed. And it's a big deal. It's the source of frustration. We think we're not being heard. We think we're not being taken care of. We think we're being ignored by spirit. Look, we supplicate constantly. Praying is not what you think it is. We do it constantly, and this is where it happens. See, I don't want to keep throwing out these catchphrases and not explain myself. I want you to really understand what I'm talking about. All right, so you know when you get in that inner space, and with the grace card readings, usually the main readings, we do two cards. We do one for that outer projective side of ourselves, that sun energy, and then we do one for the moon energy, right? This is about the moon energy situation. Okay, that self that we have inside of ourselves. This is the one that will, we do a little bit of complaining in our heads inside of ourselves. We have conversations about situations. Now, this isn't about being hypercritical, and this isn't about being judgmental. It's not about like in that complaining mode, but what it is when you get to the pinnacle of those things, when you get to that point where you're just done, and it could be anything. It could be like, I don't know, it could be a living situation where you're living with a person and it's just really not working out, and you think to yourself, God, man, I know I need a roommate, or that's my partner, or whatever it is, but this is just so hard to be here, for whatever reason you go. But when you get to that soft part where you're acquiescing like that, or it could be a job, maybe it's a mean boss or a coworker, or maybe it's just conditions at the job, maybe it's they don't have air conditioning and it's sweltering or whatever, and that could be anything. Maybe they can't afford to air condition wherever you're working or whatever. And then you're like, but I really need my job, I need to pay my rent, but this is really hurting me every day. Every day I come home and I'm just wiped out because it's so hot at my job. Something like that, where you're not actually being critical. You're not assigning anything to anybody, but you're in that, not distress, but you're recognizing inside of yourself that it ain't working. You're basically asking for help with that. That is prayer. You're supplicating to source, and you're immediately heard. Your vibration is picked up. Okay, nobody's sitting up there in a gallery listening to us and reading our thoughts. But what happens is when we are assessing our own situations and we tap into the emotion that's associated with that, and we allow ourselves to feel that and have that little conversation in our head with, okay, I want to accomplish this, and I feel like I need to do this, but I don't know how I'm going to get this done on the amount of resources that I see right now in my world. That, you know what I mean? You're just like, okay, it's a quandary. I'm exasperated. You know what I'm talking about. We're just like, I'm at my wit's end. What do I do? How am I going to do this? That kind of thing. The second you feel that way, the second you tap into that emotive state of, look, something's got to change around here. That moment that's being picked up. Your vibration is being picked up, and immediately source, universe, however you want to, spin it. It starts the ball rolling in your world. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Situations that source will send in to make a rescue for you may not be recognizable. I know, it's like, holy crap, man. It's like, just breathe. And the other thing is, sometimes they are recognizable. Sometimes an option comes up and you're like, well, no, can't do it. And so you deny entry into a situation that will jump you over to a situation that you would really like. because you've got that short-term vision. You're like, no, I'm not going to that job because I'm going to stay in this job where I'm totally miserable and I'm compromised, and I feel like this every day when I come home. I'm not willing, or I'm scared. Like, what if I take that job and then it doesn't work out, and then I've already left this job? What am I going to do then? You know? The key here, the message here, is to remember that when you get to that point, recognize it. And know that minute, go, uh-oh. Uh-oh, Source just picked up on that need. Source just picked up on that desire. Source just picked up on that. I got to get this straight. I got to get something changed up in here. Because then the ball starts rolling. Then stuff starts popping up in your world. And you're going to have faith. You're going to have to go out on those limbs. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. Yes, you're going to have to do stuff. You're going to have to act on faith. If you want things to change, the vibration of just that will create opportunities in your world to make the change. Okay? And it's not always just one step. You know, if you don't like where you're living, if you really are at that point where I need a different opportunity here, this is just not working for me, what am I going to do? Well, take a deep breath, believe in your journey, and understand that you just prayed for something different. And understand that that something different will pop up for you in some form. And it may not be the end. It may not be a one-step process. It may be a series of lily pads in your pond, and you got to jump from one to the next. You may have to get out of your comfort zone. You may have to pack your stuff and move a couple times. You may have to accept a deal that, you know, that is marginally better but not perfect, so that you can buy time. And you know, these situations, if you'll be brave and accept Source's offerings, those situations come with their own set of connections. They come with their own own environment of possibilities. And you can't have access to those new possibilities that are going to put you where you want to be if you decide to stay where you are. If you won't be brave, if you won't believe in yourself, if you won't believe in Source, if you don't understand that you just asked for something that you're going to get. But you got to do your part. I mean, that's just the way it is. And the first step for me is just know you're being heard. Okay? And you know, prayer is prayer. You can say it. You can poise your hands. You can sit with your head down very quietly and literally pray, but know that it's subtle. It's more subtle than that. You don't have to do that. You know, just like a lot of people think you got to pray through a statue to get to God. No, you don't. We are all entitled to our own direct line to Source. There's nothing that we don't need to go through anybody or anything to achieve communication with Source. And trust me, if you have emotions in there, if you carry a vibration, and you do if you're alive, that's the communication. It's a built-in situation. Can't nobody take that. You don't have to earn that. But what you kind of got to do is recognize that you've got that and utilize it to your best advantage. Know that when you get to those points in emotive, echelons of acquiescence, basically, is where you're at. That's when you're the most receptive, and that's when Source goes, okay, let's go create some stuff for you. But it's our job to stay on watch. That's one of the grace cards, stay on watch, because a lot of times we ask for stuff, but we kind of inside don't really believe it's going to happen, so we don't keep our eyes open, and we don't see those signs. We don't see the synchronicities. We don't recognize that. We don't recognize what's being put on our path to guide us where we actually say we want to be. So realize, no matter who you are or what religion you are or are not, power of prayer is real, and it comes from the way you're feeling. It's your vibration that is set up by the way you feel about things. That's what spirit, that's what universe is picking up, and that's what will mirror for you. That's what will transpire for you. And you do have to transmute it down. You know, you can't be angry all the time. You're just going to go through stuff that's going to make you angry. There won't be any salvation. There won't be a connector to something better. You kind of got to go through the anger, go through the fear, go through whatever it is, the dread, go through it, feel it, and then move through that, transmute it into the emotional vulnerability that is supplication. Because let's face it, you got to have a degree of humility to kind of get on your energetic knees and say, look, I'm not seeing a way out of this. I'm going to need a rescue on this partner. You know, that takes some humility. But dive deep and understand that when you're at those points, those emotional points in your vibration, rescue's on the way. Rescue's on the way. All you got to do is keep your eyes open and have faith that it is. And be brave enough to step out on those limbs that are being offered to you and understand. If I really, really want to change this, I'm going to have to move some stuff. I'm going to have to shake some stuff up around here. I'm going to have to make a move, you know? Okay, that's pretty much it, y'all, and I hope that resonated with you, and I hope it helps somebody out there with something that they're going through, because that prayer thing, I had every intention to do something completely different today, and this one just went, whew, it wasn't even knocking, it was like the door blew open and the wind blew all my shit around, you know. I'm like, okay, I get you. I'm going to go say something, and I hope I said it right. Anyway, thank you for being here, y'all. Please share this video if you think anybody else would get something from it in your world. And if you like the video, please hit the thumbs up for me. It don't cost nothing. It's free, just like subscribing. If you're not subscribed, be cool if you think about subscribing. And yeah, I got some other spirit messages that were supposed to be coming up, and they're important too, but this one was just right there. Like I said, it blew through my area and it's not stopping, so I thought I better come and clear my deck so that I could get some other work done. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really do appreciate you being here, and I will see you soon.